first started working at Washington Union back in 1998, it was my first teaching job, and I was scared poopless. My first 2 years standing in front of students, I didn't like doing that because I didn't speak well in front of people, and I was really, really nervous, and I wanted to make sure I knew everything before I got up in front of the kids. And then one day I realized I knew more than they did, just a little bit more than they did, and then I kind of got used to speaking in front of them. Well, once upon a time ago, I was sitting in a history class when I was about 16, 17 years old at Bullard High School and having an absolute boring time of it. And I would consistently read the little stories in the textbook, but I didn't want to read the words because the words were boring. And I decided that, and my teacher was really kind of boring, and I didn't like the way it was being taught, but I thought history was really kind of fun. And evidently I got a D in that class, and I decided whenever I grew up, well, which I haven't done yet, that I would become a history teacher and make history interesting for my students when I grew up. That's why I became a history teacher. The Teaching American History grant, I've been involved for about the last 9 years. I'm one of the oldest members in it in the Fresno area. That program has paid for numerous study trips. I've been to Philadelphia, Washington, D.C. three times. I've been to Boston. I've been down to the South on tours of the South, reliving the Civil Rights Movement. This summer, I'm on the planning committee, and we're going to Chicago, Illinois, and St. Louis. And we're going to be checking that out, those two places. Well, on these study trips, we have to do a project. We have to do research on a particular topic, and we chose, there's 3 other women who are working with me on the project, and we chose the meat industry due to Upton Sinclair, because he was a muckraker back during the early 1900s. And he exposed the meat industry and how nasty it was inside the meat factories with the noise and the way they cut the meat and what they put in the ground meat, and yeah, that it had rat dung and all this other gross stuff in it. So we decided that that would be a really good topic in which to go in and research, especially in Chicago, where they have a lot of the primary sources from that time period. Currently, some friends of mine got me hooked up with this cycling club, and we are currently riding 100 miles on May 19th to raise funds for the community food bank. Let's see, Exceptional Parents, Spirit of Women, and Removing the Training Wheels, which is for kids with disability and is to teach them how to cycle. So I am raising, my requirement is $1,000 I need to raise by May 19th, so that's what I'm up to. My favorite hobby, I would say, if it's outdoors, it would be skiing. Cycling is becoming another one, that sort of stuff. Actually, I'm a history geek, and I really like learning about history, so anything related to learning more about history, I'm really kind of like geeky all over it. Well, once upon a time ago, my students liked to bring me presents, so they would bring me toys. And then the toys were all over my bookshelves and my desk and everything else, and they started to get cluttered. And then dust would start to accumulate. And I don't like dusting, hence the reason I have a housekeeper. So I looked at the ceiling one day in 2004, and I'm going, I can hang them from the ceiling. So ever since then, I've been adding to the collection.